Hi, welcome to the next edition of KebbieG Specialty List. Today we're going to be playing Incarnation. This is one of the decks that got the most upgrades from Duskmourn. So, of course, we're going to be trying out the green and the red Overlords. I think these cards are just insane in the deck. And we're going to see if it has what it takes to compete against the hyper aggro, Rakdos aggro deck and stuff like that. So I'm hoping this deck does quite well. If you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell for future videos. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. Let's get there together. Let's get into this deck list and see the deck in action. So the deck list, we got 3 Bone Crusher Giants, 1 Clever Impersonator. This could be a card that could be switched. We have a Heliod, it's pretty solid with Incarnation, returning something like a Fable the Mirror Breaker. We have a Shieldred, pretty just good card against Phoenix. Elisnor to shut off potential things. Also doubles up our Agent of Treachery triggers, our Overlord ETB triggers, so those are kind of cool, plus Titan of Industry and Atroxa. It just has an extra lot of value in the deck, plus it does really good with Leyline Binding. We have a Tolsimir, just good against aggro. We have an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. It comes down on turn 3, gives us an extra land, which allows us to fires plus a 5-drop if we want to. We also got the Overlord, the Red Overlord for a little bit of damage. It basically allows us to sack it, get an Agent of Treachery, Atroxa, or Titan of Industry. A Valakut Awakening to put a card to the bottom in case we want an Incarnation for it. And then we have our Fable the Mirror Breakers. It's just the best card in Pioneer. We have 2 lockdowns main, 2 side against the heavy aggro decks. Touch the Spirit Realm is a decent removal spell that also works with Incarnation. We have Incarnation and Fires, 4 Leyline Bindings. I think especially with the brand new wave of aggro, I do like Karuga version more. Just because of the fact that Yorion, you see your sideboard cards less often, which against aggro, you really need to have access to them. Sideboard, though, we do have a couple blot outs, kind of rolled over from last season. And Quakebringer. Quakebringer also is pretty good against Angels, so that's pretty nice of a cut. So we can cut like a Overlord or a Tolsimir, probably Tolsimir for Quakebringer, and probably wreck Angels, which is a top tier deck. Karuga, the best companion, hands down. It's a hippo and a dinosaur. It's the best. 3 Leyline of the Voids for a graveyard hate. 1 Krinko's Buzz Crusher as a way to fight through Lotus Fields. Beza as a good tutor target for aggro. We have Ego for combo and control, 2 lockdowns for aggro, 3 disputes for the control matchups, combo matchups. These are pretty powerful. We need to be able to have access to counter their spells. And that is the deck we're trying out today. Let's see if this deck has what it takes to compete in the current Pioneer format. Let's get into it. Our goop. Okay, Vantage. Hero. So this is the new Leyline probably deck. So we draw our red source. That's good. So we have our Binding online. We say go. We want him to be able to use as many stuff as we can and deal with his board at a reasonable time frame. Because I think this is the brand new Boros Heroic deck that kind of is all in on this concept of just putting basically a Boros Sacrifice. Illuminator Vorsawosa. Let's get rid of the Vorsawosa. I'm going to play Otawara since it doesn't cause me to take damage. I'm going to say go. Next turn we can attack, play Shieldred Tapland. Seems like a good move. Especially since we need the life gain early. Unless, of course, he has some sort of removal for Shieldred, which I'm assuming is in post board. If I had to guess. Yeah, take our beats. Do your pumps. And again, we might be just dead, actually. I mean, Monstrous Rage. Oh, okay. So at most he could deal 10 more to me. Vorsawosa. I think I get rid of Steam Vents. Okay. Shove in there. Play a Shieldred. Tapland, go. Next turn, we want to touch the hero. I think I blocked the Virtuosa, forcing him to pump the Virtuosa, right? Because at the end of the day, hero is the better card to have to die. So I think it's correct. And then again, he could just literally pump and then sack and then deal it. The remaining damage to me, which is kind of weak, but it is what it is. This deck is quite explosive. Okay. Why do that? I don't understand. Okay. So he didn't kill me. Interesting move. So we play Touch the Spirit Realm. Get rid of the Heart Pharaoh, the hero. I can't shock myself, so we just do that. I don't think I could attack here. Okay, we will block. Do you have a rage? Nope. Okay. Now what? I'm at 1. And a hazard for the win. Okay. So against aggro, we have Beza, we have Lockdown, and that's our main plan. Now, for the 5-drops, we might actually just want to get rid of Ancient of Treachery instead of a 5-drop. All our 5-drops are reasonable, Duskmourn. It's probably better than, of course, the Agent of Treachery. Clever Impersonator isn't necessary in this deck. I'd rather just keep the Beza. And then our lockdowns come in, and we probably just trim on probably want to keep Bone Crusher, honestly. What's a little slow in this deck? Maybe we do cut the Duskmourn for a lockdown that does lower our curve. Other than that, I think this up and top end is pretty good overall. Maybe it is just a single Bone Crusher or a Touch. I like Bone Crusher less, I think, than Touch, so run it like that. I guess we do keep Bone Crusher. Run it like that. Tower, you. Hero. Does it matter which color? I think I go with the green. And stomp that before it gets bigger. Go. So the green source gets me to this Overlord. This one does nothing for me, to be frank. So I could play it. I guess I'll play an untapped land. Fable. Go. So I really do need to get to... Let's see what you have for removal. Nope, just lets it happen. Illuminator? Nope. Heart Fire. Honestly, I think my hand's pretty good. I could get rid of this Overlord. That's a little more interesting, to be honest. The Rafine's Tower, I think I go ahead and just stomp. They go. Okay, escapes. So I guess it would have been better to just cast the Bone Crusher Giant. But... So, the fact that he used the Cell Sword, does that tell me he has another? Or is that looking at it too much? Alright, so that gets flipped. We play Fires. I don't think there's a world where I play Incarnation, sack, anything, right? I mean, the 4-drops and the 5-drops. I mean, Tulsamir could be useful. The 4-drops don't seem very good. I guess Beza, but Beza's kind of mid right now. Would it be just weird just to play a Bone Crusher Giant and block? Because, I mean, we just lock down. It's fine. Since our opponent does not have the ability to phase it out. I am waiting for Wizard of the Coast to print that. When are we going to get an aura that just gives it a boost and phases out the creature for the turn? Okay, so now we get to play a free Incarnation. Pick up Karuga, and he scoops it up. I don't think we make any adjustments. I mean, unless Blot Out was worth it. It does exile. Maybe that's honestly better than Touch. Yeah, I like that more. Greatest mana value? That's right like that. There's the ley line and a scamp. So it's gonna take me a while to get this binding in online, which kind of sucks. Kind of hope I just top deck a Triumph here. Maybe get this binding in a good spot. He might just beat me this turn. Like, this just seems to be a norm now. I don't think this card was a smart choice by Wizards of the Coast. They can get me down to 6. That is not what I'm looking for. Because now, I mean, even a Fable the Mirrorbreaker doesn't seem that great. Oh. Maybe he should have sacrificed it. Another scamp. Oh yeah, I would have. For sure. Go. So now I think my goal here is to get to... Okay. So you're going to pump both. That makes a lot of sense. I do need life, which is the most important thing here. So I probably have to get Tolsimir, based off of my list. So... I mean, I'm going to trade. Soak up 2 of that damage. It's not going to be that much, though. That's 10. Okay. I mean, he wins. Sure. 0-1. Let's get into the next. Through PayPal, I'm offering for $20 play your deck through League. I also give you an article about how to improve the list, and as well as some sideboard guides in very particular matchups. If you want to check out the link, is in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Okay, so Swift Spear. So I can get this down to 2 mana for the Leyline Binding. I'm not sure how good that's going to be. So we're facing Rakdos aggro now. So that's not a bad situation for me. I kind of just want to go ahead and stomp. And say go. Next turn I could Fable into a Fires, which is pretty good. Because, I mean, any logical person would have probably did all the pumping on the Swift Spear. It's less it's critical of a creature than Show Off. And Show Off naturally gets more bonus. Do you have a land? Nope. Maybe it's correcting down to just a binding. I think so. I mean, it's Rakdos. He doesn't really have any protection spells. Alright, take that out of the equation. We play Fires and a Fable. And say go. I think we're stabilizing at this point. Scamp. In a Rakdos shell? Like, okay. That is actually really good. I don't need a second Fires. I'm definitely happy with that. Play a tap land. I think I have to play Karuga. That gives me a decent amount of card draw. Then we got Beza locked down. And I like Blot Outs. Overtouch. Clever. Norn. And Agent. Run it like that. So shocks himself and it's scamped, huh? Oh. That's a black source and a green source. I'm happy with that result. If we get to this lockdown, we should be pretty decent. Now, the question is, can we get there? That's the main question. Okay, he might have just drew a land. Alright, do you ping me for 4? No. I guess maybe he has the Thud? Sure. That's 8. Play a tap land. There you go. What's your last few cards? Oh, Show Off. Okay. So in this particular situation, I think I go for the Fable and the Mirrorbreaker. I can't really get Slick Shot Show Off with how my hand's set up. So I can't really play Rafine's Tower. Oh, I guess I can't do anything. Except cycle a Rafine Tower, as I don't have red mana. Okay, pick up Karuga. And get rid of this Fable. Alright. What's your last 2 cards? Okay. So I'm at 2. Any pump spell. And a Scamp. Okay. Lockdown. Tap land. Go. Alright. Great. So now I can... I don't think I Incarnation. It doesn't seem logical. I think I need a body on the board. Go. So that's good. That gives me my domain. We drop down Incarnation. Smack you. Don't sack the lockdown. I could have just straight up cast the binding just to literally sack it. And again, I have Titan in my hand. It would have to be for Atraxa. Not sure if that's necessarily worth it. I'd rather play it safe. So I could potentially play land, play a Titan of Industry. But I'm going to go ahead and play land. Leave up double interaction. I don't think he's beating me like in this current position. And the only way I lose at this point is if somehow he could play a creature. Sword. Got it. 1-1. Let's get into the next. I am now offering Patreon and locals content exclusive. It includes sideboard guides, budget guides, exclusive videos, as well as other types of content. If you want to check out the link, is in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Oh look, it's another green source over there. Or red source. Another show off. Okay. Wait, this is just aggro night, huh? I would like an untapped land potentially here. Yeah, maybe I should not have kept this hand. Jeez, we're definitely taking a beat. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. There's not a world, right, where I could just cast this Fable and be okay. I literally have to top deck a lockdown here to stay alive. That seems a little weird. I mean, I think it pays off, but I would have targeted the hero, because that's 4 points of damage, and then you would have just killed me. Alright, run it back to the same thing we've been doing. You could argue that Touch of the Spirit Realm is better, because it can technically blink something like Tolsimir to gain a little more life over something like Blot Out. So maybe that's maybe that is correct. But I definitely like cutting Agent of Treachery, because we don't need more 7-drops, and Norn. And then I don't really care for Clever Impersonator. Run it like that. Tap and go. Swift Bia. Stomp. Go. Now I could play a Stomping Grounds into a Giant. It doesn't seem very good. I think it's best to play a Tower, which should also give me a Binding as an option. Say go. At this point, I think I really need him to just put as much as he can into that Challenger, and then just binding it. Nice. So we definitely binding away the challenge here. Take our small beads. Unless he has something else. Sure. At this point, I think I go ahead and just Bone Crusher. I can't do anything else. So I could play Stomping Grounds. That's fine, I suppose. I don't need 5 mana next turn, so. So now I could grab Titan of Industry here or a Atraxa. By sacking this, giving him back. Either one seems pretty reasonable. Atraxa does get the potential of getting blown out by a Thud. So, part of me kind of thinks Titan of Industry is the correct way to go. Alright. I'm going to force you to do whatever you want to the Swift Spear. Tulsamere. So green. I don't have 2 green mana. Tulsamere's out of the question. So if I grab a 7-drop, like I said, it's either Titan or Atraxa. Titan doesn't do anything other than get rid of a monster token and gain 4. Makes a body. So I think I go ahead and do that. Tap land. Stack the binding. And get a Titan of Industry. 4/4 and gain 5. It's another challenger. So he swings in. Okay, that dies. Scopes that up. Run it back. So Kamanu. That's, weirdly enough, kind of a really good start for me. So I need another green source. There's no world where I can get away with playing a Fires on curve, or play this Overlord on curve, because I'm gonna have to get to this lockdown. So next turn I lock down. Now the question is that quick enough? I hope it is. This retreat hopefully saves me. Because if I get this, I should be fine. Okay, so if he has sack, so that's 10. Okay, so that's probably all he has then. So I'm at 3. You have a sack? No Thud, please. Okay, so we are 1 and 2. Getting to the wrap up. So what do we want to speak about this deck overall? We went 1 and 2 with the deck, facing nothing but aggro. So to make some adjustments for it, I still want to keep the blot out, and the reason being is one of the best decks in the format also happens to be a transmog deck, so I kind of want to keep that in there, because either they transmog into Atraxa or they transmog into Balgamoth. So I kind of want to just keep that in there, because in that matchup, I think you kind of want that ability just to exile a Balgamoth. So I also kind of want 2 copies of Knockout Blow. So this is basically a 1 white. It deals 4 damage to any attacking or blocking creature. You gain 2 life. It's pretty good against stuff like red-based strategies, which we faced all night. So I do like this. It's a pretty good substitute when you touch the Spirit Realm for the Knockout Blows. I went ahead and I cut the Exile effect and also the other random card in the sideboard that I didn't actually get to use. Oh yeah, the 5-drop, your opponent can't gain life giant, right? I don't think that's not as important in this heavy red aggro meta. So I think this is a good modification. I think the deck is pretty solid overall. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this list. What considerations would you have made for the sideboard? I do think it needs to be a little bit more tweaked, and I think this deck is pretty good. In general, I felt like we were not that far out of it, considering the fact that we are a much slower deck than the average deck in the meta. So I do like the deck. I think it's still pretty decent. Clever Impersonator. I'm not sure what I would want to substitute this card for. If you have any ideas, like I said, for that, let me know in the comment section as well. And until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Shout out to all my supporters. And if you want to see any other content from me, check out either one of these 2 videos and playlist. And I'll talk to you soon.